This is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Monday the 5th of July. Jump straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the day after yesterday's late pullback. Going to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 35,201 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 36,025. We need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high. That was at 35,950. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target 37,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 36,775. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 34,451 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of the second major support level at 33,627. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histograms coming off the back of yesterday's late pullback and this morning's slide. So that's suggestive of further downside ahead. On the EMAs, the 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200. So we need to look out for a possible narrowing that would lead to a further pullback. So key would be to move back through the pivot at 35,201 and break through yesterday's high at 35,950 to bring resistance levels into play. Across to Ethereum against the US dollar, bearish start to the day as well. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 2301 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 2411. Support from the broader market is going to be needed to break out from yesterday's high. That was at 2389.22. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target 2500 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2500. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 2213 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 2100 levels. Second major support level 2102 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a widening of the bearish histograms following yesterday's late bearish cross. So need to keep an eye out for a further widening. On the EMAs, the 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200, so also need to keep an eye out for a further narrowing there. Still a bullish indicator, however, so key would be to avoid the pivot at 2301 and break through yesterday's high at 2389.22 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Across to Litecoin against US dollar, also bearish. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 143 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 150. Going to need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Litecoin to test resistance at 150, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin target resistance at 160 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 154. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 139 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of sub 135s. Second major support level sits at 132. Looking at the MACD, widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. On the EMAs, the 50 has also flattened marginally on the 100 and the 200, but that's still a bullish signal. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 143 and break through yesterday's high at 148 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's been a mixed morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 6904 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.7149. We'll need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high, 70946. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 0.75 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.7340. Fall back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.6714 into play. Barring an extended sell on the day, Ripple's XRP should steer clear of the second major support level at 6469. Looking at the MACDs, slight widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. But keep an eye out for a possible widening there to weigh on Ripple's XRP through the morning. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has pulled further away from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 6904 and break through yesterday's high, 70946, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will come into play.